I'm telling you, you're making a mistake, the captain of the cruiser said. This man and his crew are dangerous pirates. Their ship may not be much, but we have received countless reports of their activities. It appears that you two aren't going to let this rest, Mika said. Fine. If you two want to argue the point, then I'll give you both the chance. Each of you no doubt have shuttles on board your ship, correct? Each of you is to board a shuttle. Captains only. Each shuttle will be scanned before entry. You are not to bring any weapons or armament of any kind. Once you dock with my ship, you will be escorted here, and we can have a chat. And you can each try to convince me that the other is a pirate. But I assure you, in the end, it's not going to change anything. Like it or not, both of you are going to be escorted to Pyrrhus. You have 10 minutes to comply with these orders. If you have not done so within that 10-minute time frame, your ship will be pacified, meaning I'm going to shoot the hell out of you until your ship isn't going anywhere. And then I'll tow your ass to Pyra. Is everyone clear on that?
Yes, the man in the cruiser replied furiously.
Yes, I agree, the man on board the freighter replied. 10 minutes. I'll be there. Over the course of the next 20 minutes, each ship released a single shuttle pod. And as Mika said, they were both scanned, ensuring that they had no weaponry on board. After docking on board exovol, security forces were there to take them into custody, handcuffing both of them and checking them for weaponry, before escorting them both to the captain's office, where they found Mika waiting. As the two individuals entered the office in handcuffs, being led by exovol security forces.
You are a fool,
the captain of the cruiser said as he approached the desk.
You're aiding a known pirate. This will not work out in your advantage when you get to Pyrrhus.
Pirate? You're the pirate, the captain of the freighter replied.
Your slick armor doesn't fool me. I know your kind. All it took was a single transmission, stopping to have a little conversation so you could scan our vessel. Once you saw the goods we had on board, you started firing. Even a criminal can hold a shiny knife, and your actions made who you are perfectly clear, the captain of the freighter said, stepping closer to the desk. You have to believe me, I've done nothing wrong, neither have my crew. This man was attempting to rob us when you arrived. That's all there is to it. You think you're smart, don't you? The captain of the cruiser replied, now looking at the captain of the freighter. I am Captain Karsa. I have been a bounty hunter for more than 20 years, and I have seen every shape and form of liar. You probably weren't suspecting this, but I always come prepared, as does any true wise captain, prepared to prove you a liar. I have the documentation right here, the captain of the cruiser said. Have your man check the breast pocket of my armament. There, he'll find a data pad containing the documentation of his criminal acts, the bounty for his capture, and even the general layout of his vessel, all astral encrypted from Pyrrhus directly. So it's proof that it hasn't been altered, he said, looking to Mika. Once you see I'm telling the truth, that this man is nothing more than a pirate, you'll release me and let me do my duty, right? He said, casting a serious scowl towards Mika. If this evidence is as damning as you say it is, then yes. However, do expect me to check everything. Dolus, if you would. Yes, Captain,
Dolus said, as he lowered the weapon in his hand, stepping forward and reaching into the man's breast pocket. Just as he said, there was a data pad there that Dolus removed, placing on the desk in front of Mika.
I'm telling you, it's a lie, the captain of the freighter said. Myself and my crew are not pirates, so whatever information he's giving you, it's forged. It's a lie, I assure you it is. He's just trying to rob us. They must have made that up in the time frame since you showed up. To cover their tracks, they must have plenty of equipment for things like that. On board a high-tech vessel like theirs. Mika sighed for a moment as she picked up the data pad, extending it out and beginning to type into it, scanning through the information. What a bother. More paperwork to go through. What a joy. It is to be captain, she said as she flitted through the screen, passing by information, as finally a picture emerged. One that she immediately recognized. There in bold, glowing letters, the bounty order was clear and unmistakable. Wanted, Captain Friedmont, Dermis, known pirate. But the face on the picture wasn't that of the captain of the freighter. Mika looked at the picture in horror for a moment, as her horror turned to disgust and then realization, as she took a deep sigh. This entire thing is a freaking misunderstanding. You've gotta be kidding me, Mika said, rubbing her hand down her face. Misunderstanding? Do not be fooled. He may have changed his face, but his race is practically unheard of in this area of space, and that ship is unmistakable. I'm sorry, but you're mistaken, Mika replied, handing the data pad back to him. I'm afraid this is not the man that you're looking for, nor is this the ship or crew you're looking for. It's simply a case of mistaken identity. The man on this data pad is dead. Don't be ridiculous. He's standing right there, the captain of the cruiser replied. I'm afraid you're incorrect, Mika said. You see, I know from first-hand experience that this man is dead because I killed him myself. What? Yes, and I destroyed his ship as well. The fact that this man owns a similar ship and happens to be of the same race are happenstance. Most likely, the ship originates from his home world, correct? It's a common vessel that your people use? Yes, the captain of the cruiser replied. It's a standard freight transport. We've given it some extra armament so that we can defend ourselves from pirates and things of that nature. But the overall design of the ships aren't that much different from one another. It's simply a matter of what year they were produced. These can produce small differences, but the overall layout is the same. I knew it, Mika said, looking down at the desk and shaking her head. She knew it as soon as she saw the picture, as the face on it was that of her old captain, and the ship information was identical to the ship that she was traveling on with him. This is a trick, the captain of the cruiser replied. If you say you killed him, then why didn't you collect the bounty? Why is it still up? Well, that's because I didn't kill him for the bounty. In case you didn't notice, I'm O'Key, she said as she grabbed the data pad and floated through the list of offenses. And there it was, the exact date in which he attacked her home planet. Do you see this data entry right here? That was the day that bastard showed up on my home world and killed lots of people and stole lots of things. 2 of the people he killed were my parents, she said as she clicked in on the information, expanding more of it to show the pictures of the dead people, the people he was responsible for killing, one of which was a picture of a family, a pregnant woman, a man, and a young girl standing beside them. You see that little girl? Tell me, Captain, does she look familiar? Mika said, as she began to look directly at the captain of the cruiser as he looked at the picture, and then back to her.
You're one of his victims?
Yes. I had no desire to collect his bounty. I just wanted him dead. And he is dead, believe me. I saw to that. If you'd like, I can give you the coordinates, so that you could find his lifeless body floating in space. There's no decay in outer space, so he should be pretty fresh. If you're interested in it. I don't particularly care.
Wait,
The captain of the freighter replied.
So you killed him and then dumped him into space?
No, he was still alive when I dumped him into space. The space did the work for me, Mika said, a little bit sarcastically.
Well, I'm afraid to tell you, but that man is still alive.
What? Mika said furiously, looking towards the captain of the freighter. What do you mean he's still alive?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to upset you. That's not my intention. But my species are the Falra. We are from a planet outside of the known sectors around here. Distinctly, one of the features of my race is that our world is essentially an ice planet. So as such, we evolved to survive being frozen. Absolutely solid frozen. We've even tested the theory. Throwing one of us into space doesn't result in their death. We're simply cryogenically frozen. All that's required is for us to be brought in somewhere where there's oxygen and warmth. Once we thaw, we come back. Like waking up from a nap. It's really nothing at all. It wouldn't kill us.
Son of a bitch! Mika shouted furiously as she jumped out of her chair, slamming her fist into the desk. So after all of that bastard's still alive. No, don't panic, Mika. Don't freak out. He's just a frozen asshole floating in space. All this means is that you get to kill him again. This time, I'll make real certain that he's dead. No freezing. I'll blow his ass up. A single round from our main plasma cannon array should do it, Mika said, grinding her teeth, staring down at the desk and the data pad on it.